Hi, I'm Beth, and welcome to Read Remark. Today we're going to talk about Fitness Junkie by Piazza and Lucy Sykes. So I got my hands on a copy of Fitness Junkie by Lucy Sykes and Piazza. This book is about a woman named Janey. She is a 40-year-old divorcee who is the CEO of a company named Beau with her best friend Beau. He designs wedding dresses. He's the creative mind. She's the CEO and the business mind that has made it the success that it is. One day at brunch, Beau tells Janey that she is just too fat. And it's embarrassing his brand, his image, and he needs her to just take 3 months off, lose 30 pounds, and then come back to the company refreshed and better than ever and not embarrassing anymore. This is the point that most women are going to say, what? 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 I mean, come on. The legality of that is questionable. Even though in the book she consults lawyers, I mean, really, come on. But still, it sets up the plot device where Janey goes into all these different fitness fads and tries them out, and we get to have fun as the reader seeing what she's doing. There are all sorts of shenanigans that Janey gets into on her fitness quest along with her best friend CJ. It's kind of interesting to look at as an onlooker, an outsider, but at the same time it's kind of infuriating. About halfway through the novel, she realizes that her best friend Beau is up to nefarious means. It was a little bit frustrating that Janey just kept saying, well, okay, and kept working out. The end is pretty satisfying, albeit a bit rushed, but I won't give it away. I'm not going to spoil the book for you because I think it is an enjoyable and fun read. Here's the thing about books like this. I am fascinated by them. Fascinated. And I don't know why. They're so shallow and they go over things that they go over things that are not relevant to me at all in my life, but it's almost like studying it as an anthropologist. Behold, the rich woman in her natural habitat. It's so interesting to look at these rich ladies who lunch and see the fabulous lives they live and the oodles of money that they spend on completely frivolous things. I would call it hate reading just because you love to hate them and kind of judge them for these lives of excess that they're living. But I don't know that I even really hate them. I kind of liked Janey. It's almost just, I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated. It's a whole different culture. It's a different life. It's something completely separate from a life that I will ever live. And it's just really interesting to read about. Why? I don't know. I don't know. It's not even a life that I really aspire to. It's just something that's completely foreign to me and thus really interesting. So I learned a few new terms in the course of reading this book, terms that I never would have known otherwise. Some of them are fictional, some of them are real. I am too lazy to look up which is which, so I am just going to tell you what they are and you can think what you want. There is face tuning. That is an app where you basically can kind of Photoshop people on the fly to make them look skinnier, less zitty, less wrinkly. Any sort of adjustment you want to make to them, you can do it quickly in Facetune on your smartphone. There's the bruffin. That is a mix between a brioche and a muffin. To me, it sounds delicious. In the book, it's kind of the offending food that Janey gets called out for because she is seen eating one publicly. Oh, my carbs. There is heirloom food. Think of this like the heirloom tomato, the heirloom apple. Apparently heirloom food is food of yore. I read somewhere that the apple's seeds have been genetically modified so many times over the years that if you tried to take the seeds out of grocery store apple and grow one, you wouldn't be able to. So heirloom food apparently is more nutritionally nutritious. That's supposed to be where it's at. Fashion fat. Apparently that is anything over a size 4. So according to this book, I am fashion fat. H2 Brock. Apparently, this is broccoli infused water, which basically means you take a glass of water, stick some broccoli in it, and then charge $10. Eating clay. Yes, I'm not kidding. Clay that you eat. I've heard of drinking clay, so I think this must be real. This is where women, instead of eating actual food, eat clay because it's full of minerals. But it's clay. Wealth. This is spelled W-E-L-L-T-H and is often accompanied with a hashtag. Wealth refers to the physical wealth, not necessarily the economical wealth, although really the wealth really only comes to those who already have the economic wealth. It's supposed to signify physical, emotional, just overall well-being. Mason jars for all of your beverage drinking, specifically those that were made before the 1950s, because those contained cadmium and apparently it deposits some sort of goodness into the drinks that you're drinking. Guinea fowl, because why raise chickens when you can raise guinea fowl? The name is so much more exotic. Kelp / Swiss chard. Apparently, kale is so out. It was kind of the it food for the nutritionally woke people, but it's being replaced by kelp or Swiss chard or seaweed or whatever sort of raw, organic, sustainably farmed food you can find. Free the nipple yoga. This one, the publisher even found out is a real thing. Apparently people will take off everything except maybe their underwears. And by underwears I mean just the lower half, not the upper half. And then do their yoga with their tatas hanging out. Cryotherapy. I really hope that this wasn't real. One of the exercise crazes that she went to was where you get frozen to, I think, like 4 degrees below zero and then run in place really hard while your organs are literally freezing for several minutes. I think it's supposed to do something good for your circulation. Sounds kind of weird. Broth. Apparently it's a thing to have broth instead of an actual meal. That's supposed to be less calorie dense, less fatty. So I guess you just have a big bowl of liquid instead of eating food. Shamans. There's a phrase that said, shamans are the new handbag designers. Apparently everyone in Upper West Side Manhattan who thinks they are spiritually aware can give themselves the moniker of shaman. I'm sure that's just an overgeneralization. I'm sure there are plenty of spiritually aware Upper West Side New Yorkers who are not shamans, but maybe they have one on retainer. So it's really interesting going through all of this stuff to see just some of the new terms, learning some new lingo, just seeing what's out there. But I will say, beneath all of the wealth, W-E-L-L-T-H, beneath all of the frustration I had with Janey and her unwillingness to just wake up and get on with her life without living in Beau's shadow, it was kind of an interesting book. I really enjoyed it. Completely different from the life I lead, completely different from the books I usually read, but so much fun. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time. Bye.